Hello. Hi. How you doing? How's everyone? It's your girl Amanda Lockhart Davis with Life Uncensored, navigating adulthood one episode at a time. We have a very special episode for you today, and I hope you're all tuned in. Grab your water, grab your glass of wine, grab your hot cocoa, your tea, whatever it is, get comfortable because we're about to do this thing. We have a very special guest today. Her name is Jeanine Henderson Arnett. She is near and dear to my heart, and she is new to the Life Uncensored family. So let's get into it. Jeanine Henderson Arnett is the founder and CEO of Prolific Visions LLC, a boutique consulting firm specializing in strategic development, nonprofit capacity building, program design, grant strategy, project management, and community impact. Woo, that's a mouthful. She be getting it in. She's also serves in leadership with the Prolific Visions Restoration Foundation and the Crowned and Resilience Collective and Foundation, where her work centers around youth empowerment, family engagement, leadership development, healing, and community wellness. Through her emerging platform, The Other Side of Through, Jeanine shares a message of faith, resilience, restoration, and purpose, encouraging women to understand that their past does not cancel their future. Her work is rooted in helping people and organizations move from survival to strategy, from vision to action, and from pain to purpose. Audience, I really want you to give a round of applause and welcome Miss Jeanine Henderson Arnett.
Hello.
Thank you for joining. Look at that smile. I just love it. I just love it. I just love it. I'm so glad you're here today. Thank you for joining us.
I'm so appreciative of the opportunity to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, Jeanine and I crossed paths a little over a year ago now, going on 2 years.
Yep, 2 years, 2 years. Yes,
Now.
2
And
years.
we've been stuck like glue ever since. And
Listen,
I just really feel like it has been divine intervention that we have gotten to know each other and have been working with each other, have been colleagues and friends and prayer partners and all the things. So here we are. I want to get into it. First of all, your bio alone says it
oh,
all.
child, yeah. It is a testament to his divine timing
Mm,
and divine appointments.
mm,
Even though they were appointments that I didn't necessarily want at the time they were appointed to me.
mm.
But I'm grateful because I could not have imagined being at this phase in my life as I prepare to enter my 49th year of life. I could not imagine sort of being in this space, but I'm grateful.
Mhm.
I have learned to appreciate the good, the not so good, the indifferent, and I'm just grateful. So you would have shocked me years ago had you told me this is where I'd be, but you know what? I'm here now, and we in this thing, so we gonna ride it till the wheels fall off.
That's right. God's timing, His purpose, His perfection.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I love it. So I listen. I just want to jump right into it. For everyone listening and watching, like I said, I read your bio. We talked about within your bio all the things that you're touching, what's near and dear to your heart, and I just want to go a little bit further. So tell us a little bit about your background and what inspired you to launch the other side of Through.
So I don't have a traditional path, I don't think, toward the other side of through, but I will start by saying that the other side of through really was born and birthed in one of the most difficult periods and seasons of my life.
Mm,
I could have never imagined that I would be sitting at a table, a dinner table, with my pastor, my assistant pastor, my husband, our church leadership. We were actually being sat down out of leadership.
mm,
And that was as a result of some awful decisions that both he and I made. I had the trust of an organization that I still hold near and dear to my heart. And I misused that trust. I did not do the right thing, and I made some terrible decisions. And even though I tried to fix the situation by repaying money, it simply was not enough. And quite
mm,
frankly, God said, "No, you're going to learn a lesson from this."
mm, mm,
And it was a terrible learned lesson. but a blessing in that. And so at the time that the birth of the other side of through had happened, we were being sat down. My pastor, now my bishop, and my associate pastor. It was a very emotional thing,
Mm.
because I've always served, even in me not making the best decisions. I didn't negate or cancel what I tried to do. In all things, right? I literally just had a complete lapse of judgment and did not do what was honorable. And having said that, we were sitting there and I was in tears. I was ashamed. I was embarrassed. I
Mm.
was still battling grief after having lost my father. My mom, her health began to somewhat show signs of declining. This was pre-COVID. I'm sorry, this was actually when it was birthed. It was actually post-COVID. We were like actually in the middle of it, quite frankly.
Okay.
And so I was kind of dealing with that. But ultimately we were sitting there and my associate pastor she said, there's going to be a other side of this. We don't know what that side looks like. All we know is what's in front of you. And I knew that I was going to be challenged. I knew that I was going to have to literally stand trial for mistakes that I made. And it could have gone a different way, but it didn't, because this is what God had ordained for me at this season and this time.
Mm.
And so she said, she said something like, she wrote on a napkin. She was sitting next to me. We were praying, and I was just in tears. And she wrote on a napkin, "The other side of it." And I said, "No. I think it'll be the other side of through, because I'm going through. I'm going through this thing." And that kind of just held me. And that's literally where it was birthed. So it was birthed at a time where I believe I was close to the pit, if not already in the pit.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the thing where I just kind of focused my eyes on the goal, and I said, "There's going to be a other side of this, and I have to figure out how to come through." Now, it wasn't up to me to figure it all out by myself, but I had to figure out what that looked like. And so that meant that I had to walk through the difficult period. That meant that I had to voluntarily surrender my freedom, and I had to go and do my sentence in federal prison.
Mm.
And I did that. And when I was being my intake was happening, I have been in prayer. And it's funny because when you look at people, you say, "Oh, of course they went to jail, they found God." But the crazy thing is, I kind of knew him the whole way along. I just wasn't listening. I was doing what I wanted to do, and I thought that I could do it that way, and I thought that I could fix it. And when you wrong like two left feet, right? But I'm on the other side of it now. So, but even still, I began to pray, and he met me literally at the doors of the prison. I am not going to suggest that it was a cakewalk, although where I was is called Camp Cupcake. There's nothing cup or cake about being isolated from your family.
No, I can't imagine.
Having to sit in your mistakes, having to literally be in the pit, and you meet people at their lowest points. Most, everyone, whether they are battling addiction, whether they, had a case of fraud, whether they, whatever the situation is, whether they were protecting their sons or grandsons, whatever it is, you meet them at a really low point. But what's born in that space, if you avail yourself to the opportunity, is really the stripping and the rebuilding. And so when I first got there, I had been prayed up. I literally walked in with my head held high, because I knew that there would be another side. I didn't know what it looked like, but I just knew that if I could just get through this, if I could learn everything. And about 2 months, about 6 weeks to 8 weeks in, I stopped praying for God to take me out, and I started praying for him to allow me to understand what I was to learn in this season. I didn't want to move a muscle without understanding what he wanted for me, and to get every lesson he would have me to learn, because I was determined not to repeat it. So I was going to go through this.
Yeah.
I was going to go through it, and then I was going to be better for it. And that's kind of how the other side of through was birthed, just at that awful time.
My gosh. I'm seeing we've got Angelica Kirby here saying hey, and Shelly Peterson saying, "Look at my sister," and preach.
Amen. Hey ladies, those are my, and again, another, God he is so faithful, and he knows exactly what you need when you need it, right? So these two ladies, Angie, Nikki, and I see all this. Hey everybody, Shelly. I mean, there's a group of ladies who we have been connected as a result of our marriages, right? So we came together in a marriage ministry. I was brought in literally by Angie and her husband Drew, who they are godparents to the girls. Once they get one, they get all three. It's a 3-for-1 deal. And Shelly joined us, and it is an incredible fellowship. We are wives, we are women of faith. We truly pray for each other. When somebody's going through, we surround them in love. And that is how it is. It is so, I'm so grateful to have these different pockets of women throughout all seasons of my life where I literally can be poured into and I can pour into. And that's why, just even when you and I met, and Amanda, we were just, it was like a God thing. And I really am grateful for having circles of women who are not ashamed to say that they love the Lord. They love you as a sister. They stand with you. They surround you when you're going through. It is something, even if she can't get to you, just to know that somebody is praying.
Yes.
And then to also see that everybody's going through something. Everybody's got it through.
Every time, all the time.
Listen, okay.
It's just a matter of what through is.
Okay. And that's my grandma used to say, keep living and you're gonna figure out what your through is. But I'm just so grateful that that even on this other season where I thought my life was one thing, I thought my circle of friends was one thing, I thought it was all connected where I went to undergrad and my sisters and all the people back in Brooklyn. Like I thought that was it. And I'm realizing now that if you just lean in and you let God show you who to talk to, where to talk, how to talk, when to talk, all of those things, He's going to line it right up. So I'm grateful for community, for a sisterhood of people who know the Lord, who love the Lord, and aren't about the pretenses, right?
Absolutely.
So we're going to be who we are in this real authentic self.
Absolutely. So. Well, shout out to your support system, every last one of them, right?
They are great. They're great. They're great.
I really love that. The next question I have for you was really around survival, right? Many people stay stuck in survival mode, and it's just a circle. Round and round we go, round and round we go. How would you say that your transition from survival to purpose came about?
I think it was, first and foremost, it was intentional, right? Because when you are surviving, you're doing just that. You're doing whatever you have to do to get through. And at some point, you have to decide if that's enough, right? So I have never, ever been a person to just kind of be. That's part of the reason why I can't sit still, and not in a bad way. But I fundamentally believe in excelling in any situation you're in. So what does that look like? If we're in school, I was definitely the one that was in all the clubs. Not because I wanted to be busy, but because I do believe that there are gifts and talents that God has put in me, and I'm supposed to share them. I'm supposed to do what I'm called to do. And that's always been the case. So whether it was student government, whether it was, senior class in high school, vice president, or debate team, or vice president of Student African American Society in college, or all the different things, I'm supposed to use my talents in that way. And so I've always been intentional just about thriving, but I didn't necessarily know it to mean that. I just knew that if we were going, we're going full steam ahead. And I'm shout out to Brooklyn, because Brooklyn already know how we do. We don't do anything small. We're not the small borough. It began with Brooklyn. Shout out to BK. But that is just how we are, right? So I don't understand the concept of, we're just gonna do a little bit. And because I don't understand, that's probably why I got in trouble, because I didn't just. But that's neither here nor there. No. But the truth is, I really do believe in choosing to go beyond what is just in front of us, what is just enough. So, I've always wanted to and aspired to be excellent, to do excellent things, to be in the presence of excellent people. And so when given an opportunity or given a task, I don't just do the minimum. I try to go all the way, like full steam ahead. And I think that is what you have to be intentional about pushing forward. You have to be intentional about living and doing things. And I know it's the coin word of the day. I get that, about intentionality, and everybody's now, we have this hyper awareness and hyper focus on our mental health, which is absolutely a good thing. But I think as a people now, we have learned and seen that it is, just enough is not enough anymore. Right.
Mm.
So for me,
Hmm.
that is why you push and how you push. And so it looks like, if I use this adage with my children all the time. If the law, if you do, you want the basic or do you want extra? Because if you just want a bologna sandwich, we can have that. But if you want ribeye steak, then there's some work that you have to put in to get to that level, right? There's some things you have to do
Yeah,
because you don't just
so
wake up.
true.
You know what I mean? So
Mm.
for me, it's
Mm.
okay. So am I going to just have a job? Am I just going to do, am I just going to serve? Am I going to go to church every Sunday? Or am I going to go to church and serve? Am I going to put my hands to the plow? Am I going to allow the talents and the gifts that I have in me to come out? And so that translates from survival to thriving, in that we don't just live at that bare minimum. I don't want, when I pray and when I read the word, I want all the bells and whistles. I want concierge level. I want 5-star, 5 keys. Like, that's what I want. So if that's
Yes.
what I want, then I have to live in that space and I have to be prepared. And that means I don't just do the bare minimum. I don't just receive the bare minimum. I push. The word says that you push toward the mark of excellence, or it says you push toward to the mark of a high calling. That's what I'm going to push toward. If I want God to do a big thing, I got to give him big things to work with. And so that's just how I
Right.
kind of put it. I don't know if that makes sense, but that is literally how I view survival and thrival. So when I'm talking to women, particularly those who are either just out of prison or just getting out of an abusive situation, I'm like, sis, you have to decide. You got to decide if you just want to survive or if you want to thrive.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to thrive, then know that there's going to be some work that has to come with that in order for you to thrive. It's
Mm-hmm.
not going to be easy,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
it may not even be cheap or inexpensive. But if that's what you want and that's your goal, then let's push toward it. Let's
Right.
do a life plan.
Yeah.
Let's figure this stuff out, and let's do it. Let's put the action items behind it and make it work. And that's
Mm.
kind of where I sit. So
Absolutely. And I do. And what you said absolutely makes sense. And I have to agree with you because, like anything, you're saying what you tell your girls. What I tell my boys is sometimes you got to do what you got to do so you can do what you want to do.
yes,
Right. And I feel like it's a similar premise there. And sometimes doing what you got to do is hard, ugly, annoying, frustrating, takes forever, all the things that aren't the quick, fast, easy fix that we all, want in this microwave style life we're living.
oh yeah.
But the end result, more times than not, is so much bigger than what you even realized you wanted in the first place.
Yep. And if
So
you,
I agree.
I love that principle because so you're talking, I told you I'm from Brooklyn, I'm a city girl, right? But my country roots, and so the concept of planting and seeding and tilling and sowing until it comes to life, until it
Mm-hmm.
gives birth. And the process, it's not pretty. It's not, you plant the seed, you got to put it in the dirt and I do not like dirt. Let's be clear about that. But you have to do that work, right? You got to, plant the seeds, you got to till. First, before you start planting, you got to till the ground, you got to get it ready, you have to do all the stuff, you got to work with fertilizer, which stinks.
Mm.
You have to we're not putting pesticides because we don't want, we want a healthy eating, but we have to do the things that are required in order for it to grow. And it has to be
Yes.
uncomfortable. It has to be, it not necessarily unfamiliar, but when you're growing, it's not necessarily easy.
Right.
When you have a baby, I watch kids, and when they start growing and their bones start stretching, all the things start happening. It's a process, and you just
Yeah.
have to be prepared to sit in the process. I did not want to sit through the process, but I'm
Mm.
glad that I did because
Mm-hmm.
every step, every part of the process really prepared me for what this looks like now. And
Yeah.
so I think that is so necessary for us.
Yes. Yeah. Very well said. Very well said. There's just a lot of going through the muck and rain and dirt and all of that to get out clean on the other side. And that's just, it just is what it is. You can't avoid certain steps to get what you want at the end. You just can't. I
And
mean,
you can try to avoid
you
them.
can try,
Let me know how it works out for you though,
yeah,
because I
and
mean
it'll
we
take
have
you much longer to get to the end goal
yes, yes,
because
yes,
you're
yes,
trying so
yes.
hard to avoid and go around. And sometimes you have to have the hard conversations, and sometimes those hard conversations are with yourself in the mirror.
That part.
So let's not forget that part.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have to have. I like to call them courageous conversations, and you have to have
Mm.
the things that you have to be willing to speak it because I do believe that you can't heal what you won't face.
Mm.
You can't heal in that space. You cannot heal. If I have a challenge with money, I can't heal that by acting like I don't. I can't heal that by refusing to acknowledge that I need to have a budget and I need to stick to it.
Hmm.
I can't do that without, truly going into myself and having that space of self-realization
Hmm.
and to say, you know what, maybe this is not for me right now. I'm not ready for
Hmm.
this.
Right.
So what do I need to do to get ready? What do I need to do to get to a place that I want to see? And if the answer is I need to, I need to take some classes, I need to make better decisions, I need to clean up my house, then that's the answer. And that's what has to happen. And
Yes.
you're not going to get to the end until you do that. Because
Yeah.
every time you make a mistake, particularly with the Lord, I can't listen, the Lord's gonna make you redo it. I remember
Mm.
my grandmother when I didn't wash my grandmother, when I didn't wash dishes right, they would and I own this. I don't do this with the girls because my patience is like, child, please move out the way. But my grandmother, my mother, oh, you better believe Ida Renee and Dorothy, please. They had the time for that. Oh, you don't want to wash your dishes the right way? No problem. Wash them again. Wash
All
them
of them.
again.
Hmm.
Wash them again. And had the nerve. Now I don't want to say nerve because that way, hold on. My mother might, I don't want her, mom. I know. I didn't mean it like that.
We don't need no shoe flying across the room, okay? Not
I didn't
during
mean it like
this.
that. But had the righteous indignation to tell me, oh, and since you're going to rewash all of these, rewash these ones right here too.
Mm.
So
Hmm.
you got it. You got to
Hmm.
play it. You got it. No
Hmm.
problem. I don't
Hmm.
want to be
You're going to
spoken.
learn a lesson some form of fashion.
I
We can
guarantee
do
you
this the easy way or the hard
on
way.
hard ways. I'm trying to
You
tell you.
choose.
And guess who don't have to wash their dish over again ever? And you get me. Listen, I learned that lesson. I get that water good and hot. You put on a glove if you need to, but we're gonna get the grease off of these plates, and we're not gonna play them games. Mm-mm.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Mm-mm.
So, you talk a lot, or you talk about that, faith is a major part of your message, right?
Mm-mm.
How do you feel your faith has carried you through moments where you just were like, forget this. I'm gonna just give up. I'm over it.
Yeah, and that's a real thing. That those are real conversations, and I had those thoughts.
Mm.
Certainly in the lead up to my self surrender, I absolutely had those thoughts. My faith is what kept me grounded. But then I was like, that in my right side, I said, well, if I had so much faith, how did I even get myself in trouble? Like I should have known better. And that was the piece that I really grappled with. I should have known better. I should have done better. I shouldn't have made this mistake. Um, I thought I made it, and and I did this, and it was shameful. It was
Mm.
shameful. But I remember having a conversation with my I have a so I'm an only child by birth. My mom and my dad, neither of them had other children. But I do have first cousins that I was raised more like siblings with, right? So I have
Hmm.
one that's 18 months above me. I have one that's 4 years behind me. Was she 4 years, 4 or 5 years behind me. And then we have my little cousin brother who came about 10 years behind him. And then we have the baby that's 19 years behind him, but that's neither here nor there. But when all of this was happening, I didn't even tell them because that's
Mm.
how much shame I was carrying. And I was carrying I was, you know, I was just shamed.
Mm.
And they literally called and I was like, hey, what's going on? And they were like, where are you at? I was like, oh, I'm in the car. I said, pull over, pull over. What is going on? What do you need? How can we help you? And
Mhm.
it was like, you don't have to carry this by yourself. My core group of my ride or die, my girls, they refused to let me go through it by myself. And the ones that couldn't physically get here, when the core who got here, they got on the phone. Another
Mhm.
one of my girls, literally, she was like, I am coming. I was in a building. That I was like, and nobody had really known what all had happened.
Mm-hmm.
But there was some inclination. So if you knew, you knew kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in a building. I was in my position at the time. After the left the position that where all the stuff happened, I was in another position. And she literally called me. She was like, "Where are you?" And I told her, and she said, "Come downstairs." And she literally was like, we just sat there, and I cried and I cried and I cried. And then she said, "Okay, we're gonna get up." And that's it. That we're still, still connected. All of us still connected. The circle, the group chat. They was like, "We're pulling up," and they pulled, and that's what they did. They pulled up. My cousins, my sisters, they were like, we need to see, we need to wrap our hands around it, we need to talk to you. And that's how I literally just tried to get through it. I mean, that's all that I could do.
Mm-hmm.
But it was hard to carry. And so I just said, okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
And I allowed myself to be vulnerable with them. And then I did the work of being vulnerable, with my daughters, with my pastor, with my mom, my stepmom, because my dad had already gone on to glory, and my grandmother had already gone on to glory. All of my all of my elders were gone. My
Mm.
dad's mom passed away, and the last living grandparent that I had passed away in 2020, right before all of this stuff came to a
My
bubble.
goodness. Mm.
So, so think about, the space that I was in. I was dealing with the guilt, the hurt, the shame, just the embarrassment, on top of grief, on top of, being an only child, and seeing my mom's health decline, and having, children of my own, and then dealing with my marriage. It was just kind of all the things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so when I say I didn't feel like it, I literally was like, I could walk off this bridge. I could drive straight into traffic. That is a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it was my faith that kept me, because I knew that if I took that step, my faith said I would never see the face of the individuals who I longed to see, who I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to make proud. And as much
Mm-hmm.
as I was ashamed by what I had done, and how I
Mm.
knew my father was so ashamed, and my grandmother, they didn't raise me they didn't raise me to make these kind of mistakes. But I knew that if I took my own life, I would never have a chance to make it right with them. And I would never have a chance to be with them in paradise. And so I buckled down,
Yeah.
and I bore my soul, and I stripped myself. And that's what happened when God puts you in a pit. Is you, the pit, and God. And you got to do what
Yes.
you want to do. And the only way I could do was get up.
Mm.
All I could do was get up. So I was determined that I was going to get up. I was not going to repeat the same mistakes. I was going to get up. I was going to take my faith to the next level. I was going to take my service to the next level. I was
Mm.
going to lean in and give God the best that I had, because He kept me
Mm.
when it could have been a different way. He kept me when I could have gotten more time. He kept me. So I'm going to continue to move with Him, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to do this even though I've made a mistake. I know what His word says, and so I am going to own it. I'm going to, I'm going to repent for it. I'm going to turn from my wicked ways and do the
Mm.
right thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to walk in His glory. That's the part that I'm in now. I don't have it always right, but I'm walking every day. I wake up and say, Lord, how can you use me? How can you get glory out of what I have to do?
Mm-hmm.
How can I glorify your name? How can I be the best sister to my people that I can? How can I be the best mother to my daughters that I can? How can I be the best wife to my husband in spite of it all? How can I
Mm-hmm.
do?
Mm-hmm.
And it was, take it one day at a time, one step at a time, one moment at a time, 1 minute at a time.
Absolutely. And that's all you can do.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I think goodness, I think what you're saying is probably resonating with people right now, because who of us have not been at a place where we were so low that it was like, can't get any worse than this. Now what? You know?
exactly.
And to really lean in on what you were raised in, how you were raised, and remembering the people um, around you who are counting on you, and not just counting on you to be here, more than that, counting on you to show what it looks like to get through, using that word again, get through something like what you did, as the example, as the leader, as the faithful servant that you have shown yourself to be, right? In this very specific situation, we're not even talking about all the other dozens and hundreds and thousands of other things that we as women, you, Jeanine, yourself, go through every day outside of that one's particular situation. Right? And we could
Child.
be talking forever. There's not enough camera time in the world for it. But
Okay.
to have that, to have that discernment, to have the the faith to hear the Holy Spirit whispering to you and listening.
Yeah.
Because that story could have ended in a very different way.
And I'm grateful. I'm so grateful that it didn't. I'm so grateful
Mhm.
that that he gave me the fortitude to stand in it, to
Mhm.
move forward. And there were some days where I didn't think I could. I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror, but I knew and I know that just because you make a mistake, you are not the sum total of those mistakes.
Absolutely.
And there's another chance. And if you just, again, turn from your wicked, so I had to make a decision to not do it again. I had to make a decision to do things in a different way. But I decided that I was going to do it in a way that would benefit him and bring his name glory.
Absolutely.
And I was going to do it in an authentic way, not be a
Mhm.
Bible thumping toe, but I'm going to be me, and I'm going to be the person I can be, and I'm going to try to encourage and serve my way through. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just love that for you. What do you think, or should I say, what conversations do you think women in general are still afraid to openly have, especially around healing and restoration? There's a lot of things put on women. Um, there are a lot of things put on Black women, very specific
yes,
things, but there are
yes.
just a lot of things put on women in general. What do you think, some of those conversations are that women are afraid to have surrounding restoration, healing, and the like?
I think that a lot of times the work that's required to heal, as I said earlier, you have to face what's uncomfortable. And I think that quite frankly, a lot of times women like us, it is so hard to come face to face with the things that you feel like, just can can completely take you out. That's not an easy thing. So, it's not easy to battle feelings of like that you're not good enough. It's
Mm-hmm.
not easy. I understand and I feel like a lot of times that whole imposter syndrome, that's real in Black women, because I feel like everybody expects us to be so great because we are naturally great, right? Our worst is 10 times better than their best.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, I mean, listen, that's just what it is. It's in our DNA. We can't help it. That's the melanin. That's the
Right.
ancestors. That's it. But it is really hard to say, I didn't do this right. I failed at this.
Mm-hmm.
I lied. I
Mm-hmm.
made I shouldn't have made that decision.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, I'm not as good as everybody thinks I am.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do this right. I passed the trauma to my child. It is hard to say that. And I think that's what, as Black women, we struggle with.
Mm-hmm.
It's not when the lights are on, because we know on. I mean, heck, we're on all the time, right? You walk out the door and you're on. I go in Starbucks and they look at everybody's having a conversation about politics and they turn around and look at me. Why are you looking at me? You don't know me. But I mean, so then I feel obligated, well, let me break it down so it's forever broke. Let me tell you, sir, you talk about politics, sir. You're talking to somebody who has 4 different degrees, bachelor's, master's. Yeah, I don't have time for this. I don't spar with mental midgets. I'm not doing this for you. You don't get my stuff for free. But then, you know what I mean? So, but then after that, after we finish being superwoman and we done read everybody for filth and we done told them who's doing what and what's going to happen, then we have to go home and be with ourselves. And when the lights go out and
Yeah.
when we're laying in the bed, and if you're anything like me and you got to turn the AC down to 65 and the fan going forward because you're burning up, when the lights are, when it's just you and God, then it's like I can take the mask off, but can you really take the mask off?
Mm-hmm.
Are you and exhaling? Like, what are you doing? Restoration requires pause. And sometimes
Mm-hmm.
we feel like we can't pause.
Mm-hmm.
How can we pause when this kid got to go to this practice and this one got to go to this one and this one is in school and she needs money and this one is over here and they need me to help them with the project and oh, we got a science project going on and this one wants to go to this trip and this one's on the phone with the boy and the boy said this, and when do we rest? When?
And
Because
that's just that one particular relationship. We're not
yeah,
talking about being a mama, a sister, a grandma, a cousin, a auntie, a wife, a worker.
yeah. When do we say, like, I'm in a cohort of some amazing women, black and brown women, for my nonprofit efforts. And I know we talked about prolific vision restoration. That is solely Jeanine. I'm in partnership with another incredible sister, Robin Atchison, who is a survivor herself. We are in partnership in DC, and we have the nonprofit that we work with young people in DC. And we literally, I'm in a cohort with black and brown sisters from all over DC and all different nonprofits. And we're like, oh Jesus, like what are we not like we the you remember in Living Color, Hey Mom, with the cookie
Yes,
jar. We
yes,
the
yes,
bookkeeper, the bottle washer,
yes.
the baby carrier, all of that. We're all of those things. And that, I mean, that's just how we operate, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
who we are. It's our
Mm-hmm.
superpower to some degree, but
Mm-hmm.
it can also be our kryptonite in the same way,
Yeah,
because black women, we gotta learn how to rest.
yeah.
We gotta learn how to say, yep, no, yeah, no, not
Mm-hmm.
doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, daughter, I love you and I want to help you, but you have to figure out the situation. You gonna have to figure out how you're gonna get the ride to where you gotta go. I
Mm-hmm.
can't do that. Sister, you daughters,
Boundaries
you
are
got you.
hard.
Oh God. Oh,
Boundaries are hard for some people. Boundaries, um, because there's a fine line between I'm letting someone down that I care about, um, or my answer affects all these other things. We're generally 10, 15, 20 steps ahead thinking about what our answer today looks like next month.
yeah.
And it's hard for some of us to not just set the boundaries or say the boundaries out loud, but to stick to those boundaries. Now, I got to tell you, I pride myself on a good boundary. No, with my whole chest. No.
I
To
love that.
whoever or whatever, right? But there's a lot of our sisters that's just not the case. I have a girlfriend who she will very literally in the middle of a blizzard take the shirt off her back and give it to you and the socks off of her feet and give it to you if it means you'll be a little bit more comfortable.
Mm.
um but I call her the I'm a mama. Like you be like, oh, we ain't doing so and so no more, and then tomorrow, yeah, so we out here doing so and so, girl.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah,
because and everybody has their own reason and their own story and their own journey behind being that way or having that thought, that thought process of not wanting to let down or not wanting to disappoint or want to make sure that everybody has what they need and blah 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 blah. I grapple myself with, I'm just an empath. I feel very deeply for people, just very, very deeply. One of the reasons why I don't watch the news, because every once in a while they'll sneak in something about kids, and I can't handle it because I'll have nightmares about it all night,
yeah,
right? But I very deeply care, and one of those reasons is because I know what it's like not to feel like you're alone, to feel like you don't have anybody who's got your back. You got everybody else's back, but when you raise your hand and say, "Hey, I need help," it's crickets. And
yeah,
so I have this deep seated need, I'll say, to make sure no one else feels like that because I know what it feels like and I know how it hurts. But I also have that fine line of no, that's a full
yeah.
sentence.
It's a period, hard stop. We're
But
good.
that's just not everybody's reality. So
It's
you
not.
make a very good point when you say that, be wearing all the being the Haymon, wearing all the hats, doing all the things, not resting, trying to balance all this stuff with a smile, without looking stressed, without feeling like you're being a burden on someone else because there's a drop of an inkling of a sign of distress on your face. It's rough. It's hard out here for a pimp.
it is. It's hard. It is really hard. And I'm not the greatest with boundaries. I'm getting better only because, to your point, I'm an empath as well, but I'm also a news junkie, so I watch it all and I just take it in. I've had to stop though in these political, because I'm a political. I love politics. I've been like way since I was little. I've had to stop because I can't. I'm living in a constant state of rage.
The garbage that comes in your head is just too much.
It is, but I do. I am learning, and let me tell you something. As an only child, I told you, Mama, I know my mom's gonna see this. My cousins, all. I know I was the perfect. I know I was. I was absolutely perfect. No prop dog. I'm just saying. So,
I co-sign that. I co-sign that.
See, right there. But as a mom of teenagers, I've learned no. I've learned no, and no, no, and no some more. And on the 29th of February is when it's going to be no again. Like, no, I'm not doing it.
Well,
I'm not going. No. The answer is no. N to the O, absolutely not. And I'm rested in that. I'm okay with that. I am getting better in terms of, what I can do, what I will do. I used to be the one, can I call and pick your brain? Yeah, sure, no problem. Now I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. You pick it, and then what? And how is this? So after you pick my brain, what's gonna happen then?
Not how long is this pick your brain gonna be?
Okay. And I'm not transactional. I think that's the thing that I struggle with, because now everybody's so very transactional, right? Is what can you do for me? And so I never have been that person.
Yeah,
I've never ever been that person about what can you do for me. But I don't want to be that. But unfortunately, I really have come to a place where I have to learn to say, I'm sorry, I can't do this. I'm sorry, not right now. I wish you the best. Let me help you with this resource. Here, let me give you this article. Perhaps you can take a look at it. ChatGPT, I promise you, if you put the right prompt in, you'll get some good stuff out. Godspeed, but I can't.
Listen, you're almost there. You just got to remove those two words in front of that. The I'm sorry.
See, and that again, I do. I really do feel bad when I can't help people. I truly do.
Sorry, but you can help. You're just not, because your bandwidth is just. There's only so much bandwidth each person has in them, right? Yes. And like you said earlier, we are gifted and cursed by the superwoman effect. Getting it all done, making it look easy, making it sound easy, all the stuff. So and listen, I'm saying this because I'm saying it out loud to you because I had to learn it for myself. No doesn't start with I'm sorry. Now unfortunately, maybe unfortunately, no, but no is a full sentence. No, I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm happy to point you to some other resources. There's nothing wrong with that.
And it's still kind. There's still, you're right. No, that's not going to work for me. But let me tell you, perhaps it'll work for this person, or perhaps to your point. Let me show you. I love that. You're right.
But that's something that that's a learned habit. Like you don't just wake up like that. That's something that you have to practice. And guess what? To practice it, people got to ask you for stuff. So it's like,
you're right about it. You are right about it. You're right about it.
Jeanine, I am loving this conversation. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to be back to finish this conversation because I am just in love with where it's going. All right, so stick with me. We'll be right back. Guys, go refill that water, that tea, that wine, or whatever it is you're sipping on, and we'll be right back. I'm Amanda Lockhart Davis, founder of Jax Consulting Services, bringing over 25 years of industry experience to our multifaceted consulting firm. With a passion for strategic problem solving and an unmatched customer service, we have crafted the firm to offer a wide range of consulting services. From financial management and strategic planning to educational workshops and specialized notarization services. Jax Consulting Services is dedicated to supporting the diverse needs of our clients. Leveraging extensive experience across various sectors, we stand ready to guide your business toward success. That's Jax Consulting Services. Visit us on the web at www.jax-consulting.com. We are back. We're having a great conversation with Miss Jeanine Henderson Arnett. And this episode is introducing the other side of through. Thank you for coming back with us, Miss Jeanine. I got a couple of shout outs. We got Yolanda on Instagram who joined. My Life's Loves on Instagram who joined.
That
And she said, so proud of you.
The A1 day one. So Yolanda goes back to undergrad. My Life's Love. We go back to 6th grade.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Diggs Val has joined. Yes. Yeah, we people are interested in this conversation because it's real.
Listen, we say clock it. What the kids say?
Clock it. So we left off talking about just I don't want to use the word burden because it sounds like burden, but the weight that we as women take on, whether it's put on us or we just grab it, because a lot of us, my brother likes to say, you have a takeover spirit. That's what my brother says. You got a takeover spirit. Just let somebody else do something for once, right? Ooh. And there's a lot of us out here like that, and he ain't wrong. He ain't wrong.
No, right? Your brother, I got that same spirit.
He'd be like, so got a takeover spirit, and she need to cut it out. And you be right.
Yeah.
But we left off talking about that that weight that women carry. What's one misconception that you think people have about strong, and I'm putting up air quotes, strong women or resilient women? What's that one misconception?
I think people think that when you're strong, you may not feel. You might know how to just navigate it, like you can identify it, but you don't feel it. And I challenge that assertion because I believe that I'm strong. I know that I've been given some tasks and some assignments that others may have folded under. So I do believe that I have a strength, but I absolutely feel everything. And I literally, I think that people don't understand that we feel it, like that we really, really feel it. That and to your point, you mentioned when you watch the news, you said you have nightmares. There are things that I'll just be laying in bed and I'm thinking about oh, this one said this, and like for example, my heart is I love people. I always have. I don't. And it goes by, I can go back to as far as kindergarten, just remembering the people person. But there are people like that I wish that I could do more to help. Like I have one young lady who I met her. She was my second to last bunkie or roommate when I was away. Just a sweet young lady, sweet. But just again, bad, we all made bad decisions. And that's literally what ended us there. But I think about her. I pray for her because I know that she has been dealing with so many difficult things and had so many things in front of her, and that she has to overcome that. So I feel, and when she calls and she needs a word of encouragement, or if she calls and she says, I'm really struggling. I may not be able to help all the time, but I do what I can, and I feel when I feel it. Exactly. And I think that people don't. I think I remember seeing my aunts, my uncles, growing up, very strong individuals, and I don't think that I ever saw the vulnerable side, right? Like my mom was extremely strong. She was the oldest child, and she's the oldest girl, and so I just don't think that people understood that. Even my aunt on my dad's side, she and our relationship is not the closest. And I think that may be because many people in our family don't perceive her to be warm or endearing. And quite frankly, I don't think she had the I don't think she had the leisure
nurturing
meaning those things. No, she definitely had the nurturing. I just don't think, I think in her time, she is, her and my mom and they're contemporaries. So they're probably 70. Well, they're over 70 now, but I just don't think that
boomers.
Time, yeah, they're boomers. And I don't think that in that season, my aunt on my dad's side had the flexibility to be warm, and it was either she was going to be an executive and she was going to be full steam ahead, and we're going to get the work done, or she was not. And I don't think that she understood that you can be strong and warm, or strong and engaging and endearing. And I know that a lot of people will say, your maternal instincts. Some people just don't have that, right? But some women just don't have that. So I think that there's a perception that when you're strong, you have to abandon one for the other. It has to be
right, that it can't be both.
Right,
best
right.
worlds.
And that's what I think. I'm so grateful for my grandmothers, both my mom's mom, my dad's mom, who showed me what strong women look like, but who were also very vulnerable. And because I was the kid that that sat with the elders, right? Partially because I was nosy and I liked all the tea. That's there. And I like Sanka coffee, and I can only drink Sanka coffee with the senior citizens when my grandmother was doing her neighborhood watch, or the neighbors, the tenant patrol or tenant watch, whatever they did it with. But I literally I saw them go through, like I saw my grandmother talk about, the things when she walked march with Dr. Martin Luther King. And I saw my grandmother on my dad's side talk about, when my granddad was, when he worked for the New York City Board of Education, and he was coming from the Merchant Marines, and all the different things that he had to do and how strong they had to be. And I listened to my great grandmother who told stories about, when they were in the South in Marianna, Florida, and how she had to, protect the virtue and do all the different things, and how she had to send like my great grandfather and my great uncles to New York because the Klan was going to get them. Like, I saw that strength and I heard it. But then I got to sit with them and literally sit at their hip when they were in the kitchen. They were frying chicken, and they were making pound cakes, and they were making collard greens, and and I could sit with them, and I could be with my grandmother when she was, when she got older. And I happened to be in Daytona, and she lived an hour from Daytona. And I said, Grandma, I'm not gonna be in the state and not come see you. And I just literally got in a cab and went I had no car. I was in town for business, but I was like, I'm not gonna be in the same state 40 minutes from my grandmother and not go. And it wasn't even about, I just wanted to be with her. Yeah. And I got to see her vulnerability. And, and we sat there and we watched the news, and she, she fussed about Donald Trump, and as she should, but I was able to just sit with her and just be in her presence. My grandma Baker, my mom's mom, I was able to be with her when it was just me and her. And I could just sit there and just brush her hair or grease her scalp, and and see them being soft, and see the day coming off of them. So I understood how to be both. I understood how to be the praying wife, but then the wife who was going to take the bat and not take no stuff from my grandfather. Like, I got all of that. And I don't know that society now is allowing us to be all the things. We either got to be strong women, we don't need no man, or let the man run over you. Like, there's a comfort.
Where's the in between?
Right. And I try to find that, particularly as I'm raising young Black women.
Yeah.
I want them to see what this looks like. So I'm grateful that my daughters have seen redemption and reconciliation through my walk, through their, through my relationship with their dad. They can see that. But I also want them to know that after you're finished being strong, you can be the strong friend, but who's strong for you? Where's your center of gravity? Where's your grounding? And that is what I need women to understand, that we can't live up to this. We gotta rest. We have to pause. Yes. We have to breathe. We gotta take off the mask. Girl, take off the head, take off the wig. I don't have a wig. Take your wig off. Come in the house, take that brassiere off, take it off, and just be. And it's okay to do that.
Yeah, yeah. Angelica Kirby says strong women need help too. Check on us.
Yes, because who's asking? We're strong for everybody else, and then what? And then we in the bathroom rocking and crying. But then we get up and we put the face back on and keep on going. No, we can't. No, that's not sustainable.
It's a wonderful thing to have a group of people who you can be vulnerable with, show your whole self to, not feel judged, not feel anxiety about who they're going to tell about your weak moment, or, how they're going to use this against me in the future. It's something special about having that. And I've been blessed enough to have a group of girlfriends and guy friends. I've got two of my best friends are guys that I've known since 7th grade, and it is something freeing about being blessed enough to have a circle that you can call up and be like, I'm struggling today. I
Yeah.
can't even put the rest of it into words. I can't tell you why, who, what, but I'm struggling today, and not feel judged or feel like it's going to be used against you later on. Or, you know, I just wish more people had that. You know,
Yeah.
I wish more
Yeah.
people had that. I love, I talk about this a lot on this show. I have a group of girlfriends where we go on girls' trips every year. We out here seeing the world. We were in Fiji last November.
Yes.
We're just seeing the world, and we just enjoy each other and love being with each other. And we have a girls' night every month. We take turns planning girls' night every month, and we just pour into each other. Sometimes that pouring into each other, it just being present. We ain't got to say nothing. We ain't got to talk about the it thing. We just
Hmm.
know.
Yeah.
There have been times where it's been like, oh, it's raining, or it would, and I myself would be like, I need this night.
We pushing through. I
And they're
know
like,
that's right.
say less, we'll be there. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
they've done it, and it's something freeing about having a corner like that,
Yeah.
having a support system like that, because and I don't take it for granted, because I know not everyone has that. I
Hmm.
am in the minority in that sense,
Yeah.
um, which I wish wasn't the case, but it is the reality.
It is. It's unfortunate, but but grateful that you have it.
Hmm.
There are many circles out there, and we can support each other. Let your girls trip got to tell our girls trip when the next trip is, so we can try to get up and do that. So
Yes,
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 Lord, yes.
yes, yes.
And something tells me a time is had when everybody gets together.
Oh, honey, listen. And we had a group of friends. I told this to my sister one time. I was like, your friend group not like my friend group, because we will legit cuss each other out.
Okay.
What you mean you did watching such and such, and who the that was dumb. Absolutely no, I don't agree with it. No, I'm not co-signing that dumbness, but it's in love. Like,
In love.
there's
In
not
love.
judgment there. It's I'm getting you together because you forgot who you are. Your
That's
crown a
it.
little crooked. Let me help you out because you forgot who you are. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't have
I,
it any other way.
I'm so grateful. Your circle, we hold each other accountable. You hear me? All the
Mhm.
names that you named, all these people. Yes, 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 and
I
yes.
love it.
All of them. Every last one of them.
I
Okay.
absolutely love it. I love
Yeah.
it. I want to talk a little bit about some of your work. You work closely with youth and families,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So just based on all the things, especially what's going on in the world today, the things that we are exposed to that we weren't exposed to pre-internet, pre-social media, blah 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 blah. What concerns you most about what young people are facing today?
I I am so concerned at their own mental well-being. I truly,
Mm,
truly am. I'm concerned
mm,
that they are seeing so much and they're exposed to so much at such an early age.
mhm,
I'm concerned about their biology, for lack of a better term, right?
mm,
I am concerned because I know that the things the food and the drugs and the everything that they're putting in their system, I am afraid for what that looks like in the next generation. I promise you,
mm,
I am. I look at and I'm grateful. So I work in to have DC. I'm so grateful that God is expanding my territories, and I have an amazing brother on the West Coast. Shout out to Wins and Lessons, Li. Shout out, brother, my little brother. But he's doing amazing work in California, in Compton, California, with kids who are literally choosing to not go into gangs or to go in like you and but
right.
the one
Mm,
thread between the kids in Compton and the kids in Southeast DC and the kids in Brooklyn and the kids in Manassas and the kids in Ashford, all of them are really struggling with their mental wellness because
mhm,
there's so much coming at them all the time. For the girls is, how do I look? Do I look good enough? Am I a baddie? Do I
oof,
need a BBL? Do I need do
oof,
I have to take, GLP, Zepbound and all like, and
mm,
then it's, I try to teach my daughters to be virtuous, right? So I'm not a fool. You're not gonna be a virgin till you married. I know that may not happen. Would I like that to happen? Yes. But I don't want you to be over sexualized where you have to feel like you have to do this. As a young man, I don't want you to feel like you gotta go and bust somebody upside the head or, you know,
To
knock
prove your
somebody out
manhood and
like that. I don't know what it's like to, and I'm watching what it's like for them to just survive in this type of world every day. I am concerned about their mental well-being, and if they have the ability to keep going, to stay true. Suicide ideation is real. Our kids, these young Black men, what they're faced with, the thought about going out and stop and frisk, all of those things every single day.
yeah, yeah.
That's a lot. It's a lot. So I'm concerned that I want to see them be resilient. But I also am concerned because where we are politically, we're seeing the undoing of rights that we never thought we would have ever seen in our life. I know I never thought I would have seen it. And so now we're telling them to be strong, and this is what the system's supposed to be. But they're looking at this idiot really literally strip their rights away. So I don't know how how you juxtapose the two. I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah.
That's what I'm concerned with for them. I want them to know that they're so threatened because greatness is in them. It's in like I said, it's in our DNA. So that's why they have to do everything that, and the food and are you eating, with radioactive French fries from McDonald's, and are they putting GMOs, in the pesticide? Like those are the things that really keep me up at night. Like how are our children going to thrive and be great in this broken and toxic place? So
absolutely,
that's what I really am concerned by that. But I serve a God who tells us that if we just stay the course and if we do what's right, everything will be added unto us. So that's what
absolutely, absolutely. We serve someone who always has the last say. Period. That's it. That's it.
That's it. And spoiler alert, we win. We win. The word said we win.
Spoiler alert. Yes.
So we just gotta walk. We gotta walk through it. We gotta walk through it to get to our victory. But the victory is on the other side if we choose to stay the course. If we choose to not faint.
Yes.
And I never knew how old people sound so churchy all the time. I get it now, Lord.
You have to almost.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Listen.
Let me ask you if someone who is listening right now is feeling broken or stuck or behind just in life, right now, what would you want them to know?
I want you to know that everything that you need is already in the house, meaning it's already in you. The strength is in you. The resilience is in you. The goodness is in you. You just got to tap into it. You have to find it. You have to quiet yourself. Stop moving. Stop shaking. Stop doing it all. Give the baby a bottle. Put little man on the tablet for a few minutes. Pause, rest, and reset. It's in you. It's in there. So what do we have to do to cultivate it, to get it out? Because I do not believe that anybody was born broken. You weren't born bad. You weren't born unprepared. You didn't go through the things that you went through to get you to a place where it just falls apart. God didn't bring you to the place without preparing you to get there. Rest in it. Pause, listen for his voice, seek his understanding, seek his direction. Quiet yourself of the noise and tap into the brilliance and excellence that's already in you. And then create your strategy and then go forward. That's the only direction.
I love it. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. We've got this podcast coming up, right? That's what this episode is about. Introducing the other side of through. That's going to be the name of the podcast, right?
Yeah, that's it.
So when people are listening to your future podcasts, what are you hoping that they're walking away with? What are you hoping that they walk away feeling? What is it, or what are some things that we can expect to see and hear from the other side of through?
I think they will walk away feeling empowered, feeling inspired, and feeling ready. I do not, any undertaking I start from a place of, I start from a strength-based place, not what's wrong, but what's right.
Yeah.
what can we improve? And so in my trainings, in my work, I try to approach it of not what's wrong, but what's right, and what are the things that we need to do to take us to the next level. So I believe that the podcast that I am curating, that God has put in me, is literally just help to get through, because you will get through. And when you get on the other side of your through, what is that going to look like? How are you going to do the thing that you said you want to do? And it's not just a matter of saying, I'm going to make $1 million. How are you going to do that?
Mm-hmm.
What's the strategy? What's the plan? And
Mm-hmm.
what's your attitude and your posture going to be as you're travailing through, as you're traversing through where you're going? What's your posture? What's your mindset? What's your mental? Can we do a mental check? What's the check? What's going on?
I love it.
And it's how you're going to do that. That's what's going to be the differentiator. So I know that there are so many inspiring voices on the airwaves, and I am of no. I do not believe that I wouldn't be doing this if number one, if God didn't say do it, but I also wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think I had something to add. What value can I add?
Mm-hmm.
I pride myself on being a value add. So when you bring me into a situation, I believe that I try to leave the thing better than I found it. It's
Yes.
not to say that anything's wrong with it, but I believe that I try to add a little pizzazz and sprinkle, a little
Yeah.
bedazzle, if you will. And so I would hope that the individuals who would tune into my future podcast, we're shooting for June, July of 26, because it is one of the things on my bucket list in the 365 to 50. So I
Yes.
am 50 is in 27, and it's, listen, it's gonna be epic. I don't know where we're going or how we're going, what time we're doing something every single quarter of 27. I'm gonna be outside. I'm outside. Okay.
Oh, I love it.
But that is what I hope. I hope that when they hear it, I hope they hear something that will inspire them and carry them, and just allow them to that a spark, that something was said or done that might change them for the better, or help
Mhm.
them to activate their plan inside. And so, on the business side, what is it that you want to do? I don't have all the answers. I know what I know because I learned it. But I'm here to help others who want to get there. If you have a business idea, I want to help you with that. I believe in using all the tools that we have in our toolbox.
Yes.
So look, and what I don't know, somebody else does. If I'm not a numbers person, guess who I'm calling? If I'm not, if I'm not a communications person, guess who I'm calling? Oh, Yolanda. I'm not a doctor of ministry. Angie is. Shelly. Oh, Shelly can make anything. Keisha, my love, baby girl. Let me tell you something. Look, Keisha can help you with it. Here, Keisha want to get you. You want to get organized. She's going to do that for you. So all of the people in my life, all of them. I try to, I hate to say like a needs assessment or a gift assessment, but I try to keep a mental Rolodex, because if I don't know how to do it, somebody else does. And I am all about sharing the wealth.
Yes.
So you need a bricklayer. Hold on right quick. Let me call. You need some AV wait a minute. Hold on. Angie's husband. Yep. Hold on real quick. I am all about that. I'm all about sharing, and I don't gatekeep. Look, we go further together.
Absolutely. And it's enough out here for all of us.
Baby, yeah, I guess it is, and we can knock over these walls. You hear me? We're gonna get to the bottom of it. We're gonna get to the heart of the matter. And so, I do believe in lifting as I climb. That is something that is a principle that for me is personal, because that's how
Say that again.
I lift as I climb, lifting as I climb. So I'm pulling you along. But let me be clear, I'm not gonna let you pull me down.
Hello.
We going
This ain't
forward.
crabs in the barrel.
Okay, either we're going forward or you getting left behind. But the trade is moving.
It's your decision. Your life, your decision.
Yeah. I can help you with it. I can point you to it. I can, I don't have all the answers. I can get you some person that does. But if you don't want it, by all means, Godspeed. You stay right here. I'm gonna see you later, and we're gonna move forward. And we're not gonna focus on the negative. Yeah, you'll be here sooner or later. We're not gonna focus on the negative parts. We're gonna focus on what the positive. When we leave church every Sunday, every Bible, so whatever we say, go forward, go forward, go forward. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go forward, because looking backward that's not the direction. Yes. I'm focused on what's in front of us.
Yes. I love that. This has been such an amazing conversation. You have now been inducted officially into the Life Uncensored family.
Well,
And
I
I
can't
would
wait.
be glad to have you anytime,
Well, I
anytime,
received
anytime.
that. We're gonna have to figure out how we can do a code thing so that you can be
Yes.
on the other side of through. Because I
Yes.
do want to. I do believe we need to be whole and heal, and the only way we're gonna do that is if we talk about some uncomfortable things. And for some people,
I agree.
finances and money and education ain't comfortable. So we're
Yeah.
gonna have that conversation.
I'm here
So
for it. I'm here for
I'm,
all of it.
I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. But I thank you. I thank you as from the literally the day we met. You have poured into me and helped me see things and helped me get things in order. And I'm appreciative to you. I thank you for your push. I thank you for your press. I thank you for your friendship and your sisterhood. And I'm grateful for
I
what
am
the
so
future
grateful.
holds.
I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much. And I'm grateful that God placed us in that room the day that He placed us in that room.
That's right.
The reasoning wasn't great, for those who don't know, we met at a Chamber of Commerce meeting uh, back in February last year to talk about all the stuff that was happening with the federal government at the time and how it was affecting our businesses and
Mhm.
in a negative way. And that's where I met this beautiful soul, and it's been, listen, we've been on a rocket ship ever since.
That's it. We look, we're gonna kick in the door. We're gonna get what we're gonna get it how we live. We're gonna do what we need to do so that the right reasons get the glory, the right people, the right light. Our light is gonna shine, and that's what's happening in this season. So,
Yes,
I ain't worried about nothing that fool is doing. We just gonna
yes, indeed.
don't worry.
Yes,
Let my
indeed.
grandpa say, "Old Marta kick him in the butt. He'll
I
be
love
fine."
it. I love it. Songs of C2, shout out to Songs of C2, said this was very good. Angelica Kirby says, great, great conversation. This has been really good. Jeanine, how can our audience contact you or stay up to date with any of the upcoming events or engagements that you may have going on?
Well, I have to do better, but my social media platforms, I'm getting better. You can reach me if you're online. It's prolificvisionsllc.com. That's the website. That's where all the things live. There's connections to the nonprofit, the for-profit, all of the offerings that I have in the corporate space. Crown to Resilience is the CIRCDC.com. So if you know any folks in DC who are looking to connect with a good faith-based and values-based and just a place for your young people to be uplifted, you can check us out, Crown to Resilience. And on my socials, I think it's like P Visions LLC, Devotion 16, some iteration of that on TikTok, although I don't really do TikTok well. But I'm learning, I'm getting better.
You're getting there.
So
You're getting
I'm
there.
getting there. I'm progressing. But yeah, email is, I'm definitely an old soul, email. And if you have my phone number, you have my phone number. So call me. And if somebody doesn't, it is what it is. But on the website, you can get to me. And I truly believe in, like I said, I just try to be authentic in myself.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
just serve and be a good ambassador for all that he has in this world. So I'm trying to do my little part over here, my little mesh part that I put together.
Yes, ma'am. For those who are listening but not watching, right now scrolling at the bottom of the screen, Prolific Visions LLC.com. That's Prolific Visions with an S, LLC.com. Make sure you stop in, check out what Jeanine's got going on, stay up to date with all of her events and this new podcast that's coming out in the very near future,
Yeah,
The
it's
Other
coming.
Side of Through.
Yeah.
Jeanine, before I let you go, tell our audience either your greatest joy or your favorite quote and why it's your favorite quote.
Oh, I have a multitude of quotes. I won't do that though, because I won't. I'll be mad at myself if I pick one. I think my greatest joy in this life is certainly having been chose to be the daughter of my parents, to be the granddaughter of my grandparents, and be to the mother of my daughters and the wife of my husband.
Mm.
I'm just grateful that he chose me for all of these assignments, and I wouldn't trade them for the world. I pray that every day that I give them just a little bit of what they have given to me, and if I can make them proud, if I can allow them, if I can be the cousin that somebody says that's my cousin, I just want to be that person, and so I want to be the light, and I aspire to do that, and that's my greatest joy, just to be to serve in the with those titles, that is closest to my heart.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. Shelly Peterson says, yes, this has been an awesome conversation. She's watching live on YouTube, and Diggs Val on Instagram, yeah, says excellent conversation.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes,
Thank you.
yes, yes.
Shout out to all of our listeners and watchers and all the good things. Jeanine, I'm going to ask you to stand by while I wrap up our show. I appreciate you so very much. You have been an awesome guest. We've had an awesome conversation. I can't wait to see what God has in store for you over these next few months and over these next years, because I know it's going to be awesomely great. Awesomely
Right.
great.
Let's go. Let's go. Thank you again. Thank you for having me, Amanda. It truly means the world to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Everyone, this has been Miss Jeanine Henderson Arnett. All right. We've had such a great conversation. I was so glad to have Jeanine on. I'm so excited for her newest project coming up this summer. Stay tuned. Make sure you're watching and listening out for The Other Side of Through, her podcast coming to a podcast listening station near you. In the meantime, I've got some news. Your girl has written and published her first children's book. That's right. That's me, A.L. Davis. Jax and the Very Big Question. I encourage you to pick one up for yourself, for a loved one, for a child, a grandchild, a nephew, a niece, a godchild, a library, whoever. This is what I affectionately say, a book written from my heart, the first in its series, The World of Jax. It's very near and dear to my heart, the story itself. Pick one up. You can get copies now available on Amazon, also on barnesandnoble.com. I also have a book signing coming up in June, on June 20th, at the Barnes and Noble, right off of Sudley Road in Manassas, Virginia. Jax and the Very Big Question, available now on Amazon and on barnesandnoble.com. Go check your girl out. Show some support. All right. Make sure that you like, subscribe, share, all the things. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. If you have an idea about a topic for an episode, we'd love to hear from you. Scrolling at the bottom of the screen now for those listening, not looking, it's life-uncensored.com. Go to our website, scroll to the bottom, and check in with us. Tell us what you would like to hear as an episode topic. Also, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, same thing, life-uncensored.com. Check us out. Go to the website, drop us a line. We'd love to talk to you. We'd love to hear from you. So like I said, like, subscribe, share, follow, hit that bell if you're on YouTube, do all the things. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your countrymen all about Life-Uncensored, navigating adulthood, one episode at a time. And we'd love to have you join our family. I'm going to end this episode with our quote of the day, which I cannot tell you how much I believe this absolutely fits. And that quote of the day comes from Miss J.K. Rowling. Rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. If that doesn't sum up this episode, I don't know what does. Until next time, stay hydrated. Do something kind for someone. You never know. You just might change the world. Bye, everyone. Life Uncensored, navigating adulthood one episode at a time. We're available on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. You can also check us out on our website, life-uncensored.com. Come on over and see what you've been missing.